Hello everybody, in this video I will do another examination question on ogives and box and whiskers diagram in statistics. Question 2. A student conducted a survey among friends and relatives to determine the relationship between the age of a person and the number of marketing calls he or she received within 1 month. The information is given in the table. The question: complete the frequency and cumulative frequency columns. Now you have a big problem in this question. Usually they give you only the frequency column, complete it, and then they ask for the cumulative frequency. Now in this question everything is all jumbled up. So what we do is, for the frequency and the cumulative frequency, the very first entry is this number and you just copy that. Then you would say 7 plus this number will give you the 27. But now that number is not there. So now you have to reverse your operation and you will say 27 minus 7 is 20. Now we can do the exact same thing again. Now we will say 27 plus the 25, those two will give you the 52. That one worked out, but now it's the reverse operation again to get to that number. So you will say 64 minus 52 is 12. And then you will say 72 minus 64 is 8. Now we can go back doing it this way around, where we say 72 plus 4 is 76. And then to get that number, now it's reverse again. 80 minus 76 is 4. And then my advice to you is, in your frequency column, just add up all the numbers there and make sure that you end with 80. All right, we answered their question. Question 2. How many people participated in the survey? And your answer there is the end of the cumulative frequency, which is 80. 2.3. Write down the modal class. And then the modal class is the class that contains the highest frequency. So in this case, it's the 40 up to 50 class. Question 2.4. Draw an ogive or a cumulative frequency graph to represent the data. Now, first of all, there is the correct cumulative frequency table now. Ours is fine. And then we need coordinates. So where do we find the coordinates? Remember, the coordinate consists of an x and a y. The x coordinate is this value over there, the end point of your first interval, and your y coordinate is the cumulative frequency, not the frequency, the cumulative. So the next coordinate will be the point. The x will be 40 and the y, the cumulative frequency, 27. The next point will be 50 for the x and 52, the cumulative frequency for the y. And then your next coordinate will be 60, 64, 70, 72, 80, 76, 90, and 80. And then there's your ogive. Remember, we have to ground our ogive. Where do we find the ground coordinate? The ground coordinate, the y coordinate, is always 0, and the x coordinate, we find it there. It is the very, very first coordinate of the very first interval. And then let's talk about the ogive quickly. Can you see it's a smooth curve? And you label the y-axis the cumulative frequency, and you label the x-axis the age of the person. Question 2.5. Determine the percentage of marketing calls by people older than 54 years. Now, how you go about doing this question is you go on the x-axis to the age of the person surveyed. And then you go to 54 and you draw a line up to your ogive. And then from your ogive to the left-hand side, you read off the value on the y-axis. Now the answer is 58 on the cumulative frequency. So that is 58. But now you must remember they were asking for determine the percentage of marketing calls by people older than 54. So that means our survey, we had 80 people. So 80 people up to 58 is this bracket over there. So to find the percentage there, you will say 80 minus 58 is 22. So this means there's in that interval there will be 22 people. And then the percentage is 22 divided by the total, which is 80 times 100 is, and then our answer is 27.5% of the people older than 54 years. Question 3. The table below shows the number of cans of food collected by 9 classes during a charity drive, as well as the corresponding box and whiskers plot. And then, so there's the data, there's the box and whiskers. I just want to make sure we are on the same page. Q1 is 11.5, Q2 is 25, and Q3 33.5. Now let's do the question. 3.1. If the mean for the data is 26.8, comment on the skewness of the data. So now we can do a little calculation where we will say mean minus median. 26.8 minus 25 is 1.8. And remember, I said when you do mean minus median and your answer is positive greater than 0, then you can say that the data is positively skewed to the right. 2. Identify any outliers, if any exist, for the data. So again, now we have enough information because we have the quartiles and we have the mean. Then we can first of all say the IQR, the interquartile range, is Q3 minus Q1, which is 33.5 minus 11.5 is 22. Then we can work out the lower boundary by using a formula Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, which is Q1 is 11.5 minus 1.5 times 22, and our lower boundary will be minus 21.5. So when you go to the data, you will see that your lowest boundary was 5. So that one is not an outlier. And then our upper boundary is Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. Therefore, it's 33.5 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range, and the answer is 66.5. And if you go to your data, your highest value is 75, so that's way out of the upper boundary. Therefore, 75 is indeed an outlier. If you like my video, please tell your friends. This is Miss Pythagoras signing off. Till next time.